Welcome to Walking with the J.Beau. Once again, very mild today, even though it's cloudy. I am wearing just a t-shirt, which feels awesome. Closer to 70 degrees. I'm going to do about 6 miles today because yesterday we got cut short a mile because of the weather. Hope you all having a beautiful week. Getting ready for a weekend. We're going to see some rain starting tomorrow, which is Friday. Today is May 9th or 8th. Take your pick, I'm not sure. I think it's May 8th. It is, actually. I know this because we have something to talk about on the walk, having to do with Victory in Europe Day, which is today. Trade deals and a whole bunch of other stuff. We got a new pope. So plenty of stuff to talk about today. Should be interesting, I hope. I do need to make a pit stop first, which I'm not going to record. It's like busy late afternoon rush hour traffic. I'm wondering if there's construction going on somewhere and they diverted traffic, which may be the case. But maybe it's just busy. Get across the street here in one piece. I gotta get across the street. Let me go. Someone roller skating. A lot of stuff from the 70s is becoming popular again. All right, I'll be with you shortly. Hang on, I'll be back. All right, back in business. There's Roller Girl ahead of us. That used to be popular with everybody when I was a kid in the 70s. It's awesome. Nice to see that. All right, so we got roller girl, roller skating. A lot of things that used to be popular in the 70s have been making a comeback with young people. From hairstyles to how they dress. That girl we saw right there could have come right out in 1976. No joke. So we're gonna go on a nice May Day walk. VE Day, Victory in Europe. Glorious day for the UK mainly, when it looked for quite a while like the UK might be destroyed by Germany. So how cool is that? That on the Victory in Europe Day, the United States, I'm going to flip the camera around, that the United States and UK sign one of the biggest historic trade deals done between the United States and UK in history. Very fitting that it's done today. So this is also big news in the UK. And it also means that Aston Martins will be available to buy in the United States. If you want a James Bond car, how cool is that? So anyway, that's the news today. I'm not making it up. The biggest part of the trade deal, though, in my opinion, is besides farmers and Aston Martin and things like that, is generally speaking relations between the United States and UK that should have been there before. Deals just never got done. Too complicated, to this, to that. I remember when Obama was president, Obama was threatening the UK with, if they don't go along with Obama's this, that, and the other thing, Obama was going to retaliate with trade tariffs. You could look that up if you want. But I remember it happening. And that was about the time that Obama was getting caught spying on Israel and other allies. So the big part of this deal is a yet to be announced aircraft industry is going to get a $10 billion, 10 billion with a B, contract with the UK for airplanes. This is something unheard of before. So, at least on this scale. So this is a big deal. Mainly though, the biggest trade is going to be between steel and aluminum. The UK needs steel and aluminum. I'm assuming they've been getting steel and aluminum from China, but now, because of these tariffs, they're going to be getting them from the United States, which was the whole point of doing this to begin with. The United States used to lead the world in steel manufacturing. So we got a couple of really big new plants opening. We already have a huge one down in Alabama, I believe, that's been running full tilt for a while now. So we're gonna have really good things happening. It takes a while, but you know, it's coming around. A year from now, people are going to get what's being done now. And the media propaganda, anti-Trumpers, are not going to be able to do anything about it. Wouldn't it just be so much better for the media if they would just cover things fairly? They would be getting viewership numbers right now that are crazy. Instead, they're going to stay on the everything is negative against Trump bandwagon, which isn't profiting for them. So anyway, very nice trade deal. Getting things done. Got a couple of ducks here sharing a little puddle. Hi, duckies. There's the mama with the juvenile duck. And the juvenile duck looks much bigger than mama. So I'm assuming the juvenile is a male, because that tends to happen. Tough telling, not knowing. So, really good news trade-wise. I mean, geez, that's really good, isn't it? Boy, that puts a smile on my face to see Roller Girl. Brings back a lot of memories, really does. Made me think of a girl that lived across the hall from us when I was about 10 or 11 years old, 12 years old, that I had the absolute maddest crush on. It was really bad. I won't say her last name, but her first name was Christine. And it was in Lewiston, in the Hood, which is now a rundown, terrible slum, basically. It was probably a slum back then, but we left our doors unlocked. It was a higher grade of slum. So, but anyway, she did all kinds of stuff like that. And I remember always trying to impress her. And I don't think she gave me really the time of day other than being friends. And we used to play together a lot, things like that. And there was another one too, Melinda. Melinda I found out a little more about as she grew up older. Turned out to be not so good a person. I'm not going to say her last name either. But she had been arrested for abusing animals. She had a whole bunch of kenneled animals that were very poorly treated, and so not a good thing. And I believe she got fired from the job she had because of that. She was working for her township somewhere in Maine. Them's the breaks. So right now, we are in mud season still. Because of all the rain we've had, I've actually seen a couple of trucks stuck in mud, four-wheel drives, having to get pulled out. And so you get these trucks that are doing, you know, yard work and stuff like that, and they're sinking in the ground, getting stuck and tearing up the property. So I've seen that a couple of times. People want to get all their yard work done before it grows too thick, but to be honest with you, our backyard is absolutely saturated too, and it is going to wait until it dries out. So we're going to walk on, take a left up here, and we'll get dramatically less traffic. Busy day today, it looks like. So yesterday I walked 4 miles, today we'll do 6. That'll make 2 5-mile days, if you follow what I'm saying. Dandelions are coming out. Here comes the sun. Now the weather is better than yesterday, even though it looks a little ominous. Not expecting any thunderstorms or rain as of yet, according to the forecast. But the forecast says a lot of things, don't they, that don't come true. Just inhaled a bug. Could have done without that. So the other big news today, we have a new Pope. Took about 2 days for Pope Francis. It looks like it took about the same since the deliberations began for that. Today, so we have a new Pope, Cardinal Robert Prevost, or in English looks like Prevost, P-R-E-V-O-S-T, French is Prévost. He's Franco-American, like me. How cool is that? But he's the first American Pope in history. First American Pope in histoire. Histoire is French for history, by the way. So, he is now Pope Leo the 14th, which is technically Leone, L-E-O-N-E, Leone, if you want to be all Italian about it. So, who is Pope Leo the 14th? Well, that is Robert Prevost, as I was saying. Cardinal Robert Prevost, one of the higher ups in the Catholic Church, and a progressive. A lot of his views align with Pope Francis on certain issues, which include diversity, equity, and inclusion. Yes, you knew I was going to say it. We have another progressive Pope who hopefully isn't going to condone insanity too badly, but he had already made previous social media posts bad-mouthing our favorite President Trump and J.D. Vance for their anti-immigration stance. So we have another pro-open borders Pope. So I'm not going to hold my breath about this guy being a great Pope, but I'm not going to be prejudgmental either. Show me the money. See what he does. I have low expectations. Oh, look at this. Doesn't that make a beautiful picture? It does. I gotta get a picture of that. Picture of that. Oh, that looks nice. There we go. All right, we got a picture. Resuming walk. All right, how cool was that shot? Now I know that's gonna look awesome. I do love taking photos. I take a lot of photos. I get a lot of really good imagery, and I actually should make a string of photographs and upload a video with some music playing in the background like other people do. That might be cool. I'll think about that. I have a really good collection of photographs. I get tons of sunsets, sunrises, fall foliage, winter photography. So I could do like a winter set, a spring set, a fall set, a sunset set. That might be interesting. Maybe. Oh, I'm gonna walk down this way. I'll wait to cross till this car goes by. We'll cross over here. Those skies look ominous out there, but I don't think we're going to get any storms or rain. Just doesn't feel like that today. Might be wrong. We'll find out by the time I'm done walking, won't we? See, a lot of people have mowed their lawns. I'm going to wait. Supposed to have a few days next week. Bright sunshine, 70 degrees. I think I'll give the grass time to dry out. I am going to have to clean up some brush in the backyard in the meantime, though, between now and then, before I mow. That still hasn't been done yet. So, the problem has been the rainy weather we've been getting. It's like really nice one day, and then it doesn't time out right to do that, and then, okay, I'll do it tomorrow, and it rains. Or something else comes up. So anyway, that was a nice moment earlier today when the new Pope came out on the balcony, and the roar from the crowd was tremendous. And I'm really happy that we have the first American Pope. I think that is very historic, and we'll see what kind of job he does. But I'll tell you, he comes out of Chicago, and he's a known liberal, and a lot of the Catholic Church has had issues in Chicago with liberalism poisoning Catholicism. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to be too hopeful. If you don't get your hopes up too high, then you're not as disappointed as you could have been. So, another lawnmower going in the distance. Head down this way. Dandelions are all up. Every time I see those, I think about how on my way home from school, when those would come out, I'd pick a handful for my mom, or I would pick some lilacs, and she would always put them in a vase on the kitchen table. And tell her boy how sweet he is. Kind of an unusual thing. A lot of people don't have a good relationship with their parents for some reason, one reason or another. I've never had that issue, and love both my parents very much, and they loved me, so that was nice. They weren't always happy with each other for certain things, but it was never a big enough deal to be a problem. I suppose that's natural. And I was fortunate enough where the last thing I said to both parents when they were alive, the last thing they said to me was, "I love you too." That was the last thing my mother said to me the night before she died. And that was the last thing my dad said to me. And I know a lot of people don't get that. So I'm very grateful. And when my dad was in a nursing home, I went to see him every day, every single day. Spend an hour or two, sometimes 3. I miss him a lot. And there was only 1 week that I didn't go see him, and that's because of car problems. I got those resolved, and when I went to go see him, he was absolutely so thrilled because he had dementia, and I don't think he was quite understanding the issue. Maybe he thought I just stopped going to see him and he was disappointed. So anyway, when I showed up, he had a big smile on his face. He grabbed my hand and pet it several times. "Oh," said my name. I was so happy. And I'll always remember that. So that's what I think of when I see things like dandelions. And that's the kind of person I am. Kind of nostalgic. It's important. Traditions and norms. Maybe that's why I am a center-right Republican. A lot of people say I'm a conservative. I don't feel conservative. I feel center-right. I know the left is friggin' evil. That's all it takes to be a conservative these days, and count me in, I guess. There's that old truck again. Very old pickup. Been sitting there for a while. Never see it running. Yeah, we'll walk by it. You guys have seen this before. We got a nice gentle breeze right now while I'm sweating my can off because it is more humid. This is where that truck is in here. I'm sure you can see that. That old pickup truck. It's got a license plate on it. It's a different state. I think it says what state that is. Somewhere in New England, it looks like. It looks familiar. So this is that place that has a flag out there with the POW MIA flag. Vietnam veteran lives there. Every time I go by, I salute the flag. Today shall be no different. So we see a cardinal zip across the road. That was interesting. Flew across the road into that bush next to the porch. And we'll salute the flag. See somebody up ahead walking very slow across the street and gingerly. Maybe she has an injury. She's out walking it off, getting some exercise maybe. She might have a disability. Guess we'll see when we go by. She looks older, like she might have a disability of some sort. Hi. Friendly. Out getting some exercise. Somebody here walking their dog. Hello. Hi. I think spring is here.
Yeah.
So that guy's firing up his grill. Get a lot of that. He put his hands up to the sky like he can't believe it's not raining. He's been doing that a lot lately. Not as bad as it was a couple years ago. And last year, well, 2 years ago on our walks, it just rained constantly. Last year, we barely had any rain. This year, so far, it's been rainy again, but not like it was 2 years ago. So I guess it's balancing out. People are out with their Corvettes, as you can see, or Mustangs. It's always been Corvette, Camaro, or Mustang. That's always been the big three. So, the first big trade deal for Trump to get finished on the books is with the UK, and it's the biggest deal the two countries have ever had. And there's a whole stack of offers they're going through from other countries. So we're going to see a lot of monumental trade deals. And a lot of people are getting angry with Republicans right now. It might be deserved. About not getting things done fast enough in Trump's 100 days. Joe Biden signed 11 bills at this point during his presidency, and Trump's only done 5. So we need to start codifying his executive orders into law. Election integrity, all of that stuff. And we'll see what happens with that. Mike Johnson, the House Speaker, is promising that stuff will get done. Personally, I understand the calendar. By the end of this summer, it needs to get done. Or it'll be delayed until next year. Literally. Because the legislative session ends before November. So basically you just have the summer and next year. And then next year you're going to have a lot of people running for re-election. And they're going to be more careful about how they vote. And that tends to get more stuff not done. So I really need to get on the ball. We have some House members who like to grandstand, delay, put on a show to fundraise. It's up to voters to not be happy with that and tell them to get off their ass and start doing stuff. Definitely a great day to walk today. We're going to have some really good weather next week. Upper 60s, low 70s, bright sunshine. We have been promised it had better happen. canoes there. I need a canoe or a kayak. I keep saying that. We got this nice river downtown with boat launches. People go out there at the base of the falls. I definitely would wear a helmet and a vest. There's also a way I'd have to learn how to flip yourself back over if you flip upside down. There's a way to do that. Okay. We'll cut across here. We'll cut across this way. Get away from the two Goombas walking in front of me. One walks very sloppily and the other one is springy. It's the one up in front there. Boing, boing, boing. And their little beagle is vicious. Really nice breeze. Hello again, everybody. There we go. Across this way. So we're halfway through our walk. 3 miles. Beautiful blossoms behind me are already coming off the tree, as you can see. Everything is blooming today. We're walking. Peace, brothers. I'm going to turn the camera around again. Tired of holding it, basically, is what happens. Funny how some leaves come out later than other ones. This one here is just starting little buds. trees have woken up. Older lady across the street walking with a cane back and forth in her driveway for exercise. Always good to do. Nice shot. Nice house. What the hell's with all this traffic today? Oh, construction going on. Three and a half miles. There's that ominous looking sky again. We're not supposed to get any rain. That looks pretty suspicious. I don't want to get wet today. Well, actually, it probably would feel good today. It's humid. I'm sweating. So for me to make sure it doesn't rain, I'll have to hope it does. And the other thing that's good about walking when it's warm out, like today I'm sweating a lot, is you end up having to go to the bathroom less. So it's a lot easier to get your 1.5 to 2 hour walk in without feeling like you need to make a pit stop. Ooh, that does look really dark. Which way are those going? Clouds are moving away from us. So that's good. You can see them. That's pretty dark. There's that Corvette, and that right there is the new license plates, which I should be getting mine. I paid for them last year. They wouldn't be ready until this May, it said, so I should be getting those any time now when I register. I'll be registering in June next month. So there's a robin there on the grass looking at me. Or looking at us. So far this year, I have had 4 ticks on me on 3 separate walks. And one of the walks was city walks. So I must have stepped off to the side across some grass or something. They hide underneath blades of grass too, waiting for somebody to come by and latch onto them. Ground, that grass is all soft and spongy. look at that contrast. Sun's out and the sky is dark. So those clouds are blowing away from us, and behind it we got an opening for some sunshine. Even though to the right of the sun that the hole is coming through, there's more clouds. They said it would be like this today, and they said it wasn't going to rain. So, but you know, I'm no expert, but those clouds are dark, probably because they have moisture in them. Just hit 4 miles. Guy on that motorcycle was a little too happy. I don't think you're supposed to be dancing and driving at the same time. It's really dark. Weird looking sky. It really is. And the other way we have kind of a mix. It's interesting. Hang a left up here. So we'll go down this way where it's a lot quieter. I didn't feel like shouting over cars on that stretch. Hope I didn't bore you too much. Excuse me. We passed the ambulance place. No chickens out today. So people have trash out. Maybe we'll find a pew-pew jug down this way. I gotta put my trash out tonight. Actually. Birds sound happy. Oh, 2025 on the lawn. It's going to be somebody graduated. It's going to be what that is. That's got to be what that is. Right now I'm feeling this walk in a good way. My lower back feels like it's doing something positive, even though it feels a little iffy. It's part of the process for me. Everybody's going to be different depending on your own health issues. I could have done without having a disc problem in my back. Never had surgery on it. Some people do, some people don't. Depends on the severity. I did this in 2005, 20 years ago. I've been able to cope with it. It does still bother me though. Played ice hockey for quite a while with a bad back. It didn't affect it, just like walking doesn't. All right, well, the sky's starting to look better. Blowing away, it's blowing out of town. So that's good. I haven't seen my doggy friend over here for a while. Not out today, I guess. Boyd. know what's going on with those two cars. I heard one person in one car, excuse me, just inhaled some dust, said the word disgusting. Then they just beeped at that other car, the car they were talking about. So I don't know what that was all about. We still haven't unwrapped our church yet. That car was going straight or turning. I had that look about them where it didn't matter if the blinker was on or not, because it was. Excuse me, I breathed in some dust. I'll make it. Now, usually on my 6-mile walk, I'll walk straight, but today with rush hour traffic, I'm gonna hang a left here and walk a little longer distance. It'll add maybe a quarter mile. But you don't see the whole distance I walk anyway. Look at this little buggy. I like it. What is that? Santa Cruz. It's a Santa Cruz car. There we go. Fresh battery. I got some dust in my eyeball. I'm getting dusted. now is not a good time to walk in the woods without expecting to get ticks anyway. They're going to be very hungry for the next month. Having a good walk today, good workout. And we made up for missing a mile yesterday, so that's good. There we go. So, you know, this is starting to look like spring. Get a chance to cross the street. See if we can cross over here. Thorn Craig's filling in nicely. about that. I just got lost in some self-thought. That happens. We're coming up on 6 miles shortly. Sign off review up ahead. Alright, well, I guess the weatherman was right. It's not raining today. Kind of looked like it there. It still does, really. I guess it isn't going to. Thanks. Well, that was nice. Somebody stopped so I could cross. Rather neighborly. Alright, so I mess with my selfie stick once again. Got a bug right in my eye just as I did that. A gnat. Stuck right to my eyeball. That happens when walking. So anyway, I wanted to say thank you for walking with me. Click like and subscribe, share the content. And I was pretty talkative for a lot of this walk and some of it not, which is fine. I'm here for exercise mainly. Definitely got that today. And I thank you very much for walking with me. And we will see you on the next walk, friends. Say a prayer for President Trump. Say a prayer for other people you feel may need it. God bless America and President Trump, and we will see you on the next walk, friends. See you soon, everybody. Bye-bye.